because I have our cover artist with us here, Tracey Chaykin. Hi, Tracy.
Good morning.
How are you doing? There's a little
I'm
bit of
good.
an
How are
echo.
you?
There's a little bit of an echo behind you, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. How are
Sorry.
you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. Very happy to be here today.
Yes, congratulations. Congratulations on being the cover of the spring issue.
Thank you. It's
And
very exciting.
that that word connected, it really connected connected with us. And it's such a beautiful, I think one of the things that I find with that image, and I'm going to share it again, there it is, it's that it's kind, right? I love and I'm going to show you guys very close the image of connected. I believe it stole everybody's heart because there is such tenderness. It shows compassion, generosity. And when I think of Mother Earth and we get our sustenance from our planet, guys. Everything comes from our planet. So this is pretty much what we think about when we think about Mother Earth. But tell us about Connected. Tell us about this work.
Um, well, it totally embodies everything that my art is meant to represent. I'm very big on promoting conservation, trying to share information of different things that need to be done, can be done, why they need to be done. And the core reason is, as the title suggests, everything is connected. The universe, the planet, everything that's on the planet, us. And so by imposing my face on there, I just wanted to reinforce the fact that we are all part of this. We are all connected.
Yes. And it's beautiful. It's also a self portrait, right?
Yes.
So it has your beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
So now your beautiful eyes are on the cover of the magazine. And one of the things that I want to share about Tracy, and I have your video, which I'm going to be showing later, but I want to talk to you about I mean, when I say that somebody walks their walk, that's you. Like what you do is amazing. It's really phenomenal. And I want to share that with our audience. Can you share what you do at home to help our planet?
Sure. I definitely feel very adamant about being an example, setting that example. So, for example, I live in Northern California, and as you know, water is a premium here. So, um, my family and I go through great lengths to try to conserve that water. And the more I research it, the more I realize how truly vital it is to do that. So, uh, we do collect rainwater. We are in the middle of converting our lawn into drought resistant gardens. And then also, I have a very large organic vegetable garden, and I use plastic bottles as my watering system. It mirrors a system that was in place long, long ago. They used to use clay pots. So I decided to just kind of switch that up and use plastic bottles, keep them out of landfill, and it just allows me to use less water, lose less water to evaporation. So as a result, I intentionally use less water. And it just allows me to get it more direct to the source and just totally reinforces that idea of just using less. And I keep some stuff out of landfill. So yay, a bonus.
Awesome. So can I share the video that you created? Because
Sure.
that kind of tells us everything. And if you see me looking on like both sides, I have the camera here and I have I'm like sharing here, and let me share my screen. I'm gonna share the video, which I think is so cool. Check
Thank
this
you.
out.
It
check
was
this
my
out.
first time doing that, so it's
No,
a heck job.
it's awesome. I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
Okay, where's my video?
Hi everyone, my name is Tracey Chaykin, and I'm a master colored pencil artist here in California. For me, each piece of art is an opportunity to bring awareness to conservation of our planet, and everything that exists on it. And my hope always is to inspire others so that everyone can participate in helping it flourish and thrive. Now, with that said, I'd like to share a few things that my family does to help conserve water and to protect this vital resource. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, what? We don't need to conserve water. Our planet is mostly made up of water. Well, that's true. 71% of our planet's surface is made up of water, but 96.5% of that are our oceans, and that's salt water. The remaining 3.5% of water sources only contains 1.2% of fresh water for the entire planet. That is what we need to sustain life. Now, the aim here for all water management is to maintain a balance between our usage of that fresh water and nature's ability to naturally replenish that resource. In fact, according to a recent study by the Environmental Protection Agency, by the year 2024, just here in the United States, 40 out of 50 of our states will experience some sort of water shortage. And that's not that far away. So whatever we can do now to help ensure that this resource is around for generations to come, we definitely need to put into practice. So the first thing I'd like to share is our front yard. We are in the process of converting this into a drought-resistant garden. Now, our city actually has a plan in place called Cash for Grass. So, to help residents convert grass, water-hungry grass, into a drought-resistant property, and you can see we have all of our succulents and cacti just piled up right here in front of the house, ready to get planted, which is the next step. And so, in addition to that, we'll add some flowering shrubs. These flowering shrubs will help the bees and the local birds, hummingbirds. Everyone be win-win. We'll save water, there'll be food, and we'll be good to go. So another resource I would like to share with you is rain collection. There are all kinds of kits on the market, some small ones, some big ones. But if you're an avid gardener like myself, this is hugely beneficial and a fantastic way to help preserve this natural resource. So you can see here, I have a tank that I just happened to luck into finding and being able to bring home. And this is a 250-gallon water tank. And you can see here where my husband has put in a conversion kit into the drain pipe. So all the water from the roof goes into the drainage and feeds into the container. And the conversion kit is such that, once the tank is full, we can cap it off and it can go back into its regular downward motion into the ground. And this tank was even more cooler for us as we were able to get a conversion kit for a nozzle, and we can attach a simple garden hose and we can water our plants. The last method I would like to share with you today is how I water my plants. Now, back in the good old days, what they used to do back then were bury clay pots. Clay pots were porous, and that would seep slowly into the soil, and the roots would gravitate towards the pots, towards the water source, and everything would be good, and they would feed themselves. Since clay pots are expensive and it's not an effective way to go, I chose to use water bottles. It gives me a way to keep these bottles out of landfill, possibly never getting recycled. And it allows me to get that water directly to the source, to the roots, And I'm not losing any water to evaporation on the surface. It's a much more effective way for me to get the job done. I use less water, and my plants look fabulous. You can see here whether my plants are in the ground or in a pot, everybody gets a bottle. And the same thing with my vegetable garden. Whether I do 1 bottle per plant or I do 1 bottle in between 2 plants. As I said before, the roots will gravitate. Nothing is to waste. In fact, here's a quick slideshow of last year's vegetable garden, just in case you were thinking this wasn't a good way to water your plants. I hope you found this informational as well as inspiring. Thank you so much and have a fabulous Earth Day.
Wow, that not only inspired me but made me hungry.
That photo with the veggies on the table, that was 1 weekend harvest, and I had that every weekend for the whole summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, guys, do you hear that? You know how much money that saves you, right?
I made
There.
10 gallons, approximately 10 gallons of homemade oven roasted tomato sauce that we canned, and I still have some in the closet from last year's harvest.
Wow, we have great work. Congratulations. Definitely, water will be a great issue in the future. Yes, it's already. It's not in the future. It's already, right?
Yeah.
We had already some serious cases of
Yeah,
drought.
well, another point that came up to consider is all the glacial melting.
Yes.
A lot of our fresh water is locked up in those glaciers, and where do they melt? They melt into the oceans. So, there goes more of our fresh water,
Yes.
So it's a concern that needs to be validated.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you, because I know there's tons of questions. If you guys have any questions for Tracey, feel free to ask. I'm watching a lot of wonderful comments. I appreciate your comments. That's awesome. And I really appreciate what you do, Tracey.
Thank you.
You're an artist, you are a busy person, you're a creator, you're working, you're doing so many things. How much time? Because this is one, there's 2 issues I know that are like the questions is like, okay, I don't have time. She does it because she's home all day. She doesn't have anything else to do. Is this true?
No,
No.
no, I do have a job and I do work 38 hours a week,
There
basically
you
full
go.
time. I am a mom and a wife, and I do the gardening and I have other hobbies, and
Yeah,
no, I squeeze it in wherever time allows.
exactly. And you're a very successful artist who's publishing and showcasing exhibitions, projects of your own that we'll talk about. So you're a busy person, but you find the time, right? You
I
find the
find the
time,
time, it makes me happy, it's gratifying, there's so many reasons to keep going that way.
right? And it feels good, right? It feels good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I need training on the vegetable growing. I'll tell you what
And
I
I
did.
seeded all of those plants, by the way. I did all of that from seed.
Wow. Because I cut 4 potatoes and got 1 in exchange. And I follow instructions of my father-in-law, who's incredible with that. He's an experience on that one, but I don't know. I did something wrong, so you're gonna have to teach me on that one. The other issue, Tracey, here is money. A lot of people say, I don't have the money, I don't know how to do it. But I see that you're using a lot of materials are recycled, right?
Yeah.
What you're using there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you don't need to buy a lot of stuff, just the essential, probably, right? If
Yeah,
you want to
well,
get
like
started,
I said, I bought, the garden is from seed.
right?
So that is the definite cheapest way to go. It just takes a little effort. Um, it's more our power than
Right,
anything, our
right,
time. Um, the biggest expense for any garden is the soil. But once you do it that one time, then you're
right.
set. I don't replace my soil at all.
Okay. Wow, that's
Mhm.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we need a workshop from you or some sort that can give us like the beginning, like the steps, for those who've never done it before also, because that's encouraging to know that you don't have to be home all day. You can be a busy person and make this happen. It's a
Hmm.
matter of wanting to do it,
That's
right?
it.
Yeah, wanting to do it and exchange it. We probably have to eliminate certain things from the schedule that are probably not necessary. And
Well, that's
then,
it. You have to pick and choose and make your schedule the most effective and efficient it can
right,
be to include all of those pieces that you want. And
exactly.
that just takes practice.
Yeah. And it's our priorities,
Yeah.
right? What's your priority? I could not think of something more crucial right now for ourselves and for future generations than our planet,
Mhm.
because it affects everything. So if we're worried about working and affecting our economy, guess what? Climate change affects the economy too.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
right? Whatever
It's,
we can
as we
do.
said before, it's all connected.
Yep. Yep. And going back to Connected, let me showcase it again. Thank you so much for that work. It's such inspiring work. For those who are watching, the Archer International new issue is going to be released. And here is something about water, by the way, tomorrow, and you'll be able to check it out. Check every artist that is showcased here and that is speaking today is on this magazine. You'll be able to read, to learn their stories, and to learn about Tracy. There's so much to learn about everyone, right? Tracy, you're one that, and here is Tracy. I wanted to show you her different, all her work because it's fascinating. It really is. I love this. I love this. That's a
Dylan was a
bobcat, right?
cutie.
That's a bobcat.
It is. That's a bobcat that was bought as a pet.
Wow.
He lives at Turpentine Wildlife Sanctuary in Arkansas. He was bought as a pet, and the family was told that as long as they didn't feed him meat, he would not get aggressive. So they were
Oh,
feeding the poor thing tuna fish, and so naturally he got desperate, and he actually bit their child. And
oh
that's
my
when the light
goodness.
bulb went off for them that okay, bobcats don't make good pets. And the
Right.
sanctuary got him and took care of him, brought him back to health, and he's got his own little pen with his girlfriend Sadie. And so that was a project that we did to bring awareness to the sanctuary.
Because again, humans, right? As humans, we have every type of motivation and we get in the way of nature, which is what happened here, right?
Yes.
Wild animals are really not meant to be pets.
Mm-mm.
They have their own needs.
Yes.
They need their freedom. They have their own needs. They have and they serve a purpose in the
Exactly.
system.
And we all do. All species do, as well as ourselves. And insects are a part of that too. Everything has a place in our ecosystem. And we have no
Exactly.
right to mess that up.
Exactly. Exactly. This is just another article that Tracy wrote. You're gonna learn a lot about Tracy on this issue. She brought, I mean, this is amazing, Tracy. Can you talk to us about your project and about the birds? That's another huge issue that you brought to my attention, and I thank you for that. And I wanted to share in the magazine and support you in any way that we can with that project, really.
This came to my attention with one of the groups that I participate in, Artists and Biologists Unite for Nature, and this is a project that we do for World Albatross Day. And this year, every year they pick a focus, and this year it was on plastic pollution. So when I started looking more into that, I started learning more and more about how it became the problem, where it starts, how it's created, all the different pieces that are part of it, all the different pieces that it actually affects, and how big our solution needs to be in order to remedy this problem. It was quite enlightening as much as it was heartbreaking. So researching the project, I learned about the garbage patches. There are these patches within our oceans that circulate and accumulate all the garbage that finds its way into our oceans. And these particular birds, the albatrosses and petrels, they're located in the North Pacific. And so for the Pacific garbage patch, it circulates past this island, and out of default, some of it gets dumped in their nesting area. And sadly, the birds cannot differentiate. Since they're divers when they feed, they cannot differentiate the plastic from the consumable fish. And so they end up picking up small plastic and feeding it to their young. And then some of the young birds don't make it because they end up with a gut full of plastic, and no one can survive that. The bird right here with the black background, he died because he got a mylar balloon wrapped around his legs. Mylar balloons are another huge problem. It's all fun to watch them fly away, but no one ever truly knows where they land and where they end up. And the strings become a huge problem for wildlife. And then that led to trying to clean it up, and led to learning that plastic is created from fossil fuels. Fossil fuel companies have to be involved in the solution. Your big plastic producers, the bottles, need to be part of the solution, as well as ourselves. It's huge. It's so much bigger than I ever imagined. I had no idea until I did this.
Right. It's bigger, and I think that's one of the issues that we encounter, is that people get discouraged because it feels like it's bigger than yourself, right? But
Yes,
yeah,
but if enough of us are willing to make small changes,
yeah,
like the bottles in my garden, or converting to reusable bottles, we need to totally promote repurpose and reuse. There's a couple of companies that I favor, like Trashy Bags is a company out of Africa that turns the plastic bottles into actual bags that you can use. And then there's Farmers Defense, which makes sleeves for your arms for, when you work in the garden, so that you don't get irritated. And again, that's made from plastic bottles. So supporting these companies that repurpose and just incorporating for ourselves reusable items, we can definitely, if enough of us do it, we can make an impact.
we can. There's so many things that we can do, and I was brainstorming on that this morning when I was meditating a bit on what's happening today and what to share. And one of the things that I remember is that feeling of, you know overwhelm of, this is so big, what can we do? But like Tracy says, it's the small steps, right? Can we take small steps at home, and at the same time, can we take the steps also? And I don't want to promote any political party here because I am apolitical. But can we come out of ourselves and out of any label, right? There's no political label, there's principles. So look at your principles. What do you believe? And see the laws, be aware of what laws are being implemented in your community, in your country, and say, okay, I don't care what label this politician might be, they're advocating for the planet, or I don't care how much I love this, they're polluting or they're doing, and be able to do that, to come out of ourselves and make that choice, and support also those, those decision makers who are up there making and writing laws that can defend our planet, can
Yeah.
help us. And maybe that way we can teach, right? We can teach our
Mhm.
leaders to care for our planet. It's not that difficult. Don't we just love Mother Earth? Like, I don't know how right? We wish, right? We wish there's probably a lot of interest, and we're not in the midst of that. Our hearts are clean in that sense, that we are here connected, and that's all we want. But
Yep.
let's bring that connection, right? And that was, I think, what was the main reason to choose Connected, was because of that connection. I am convinced that the connection between our planet and the connection between human and nature is
Mhm.
what makes the difference. And we gotta get those hearts softened, the leaders, decision makers, we gotta get them to connect, inspire them somehow, and support the laws that are going to benefit our planet, so that we can make, change, impact, and without labels. Again, don't look at the label, don't look at what party you are, or just think about your principles, your what you think is best for your children, what's best for the next generations, what's best. Do we want our oceans polluted? Do we want birds eating plastic, right? Do we want oil spills? What do we want? And let's make decisions on that. And that's how we can make the decisions. That's how we can create change, one by one, right? One by one,
Yep.
and get together. Let's not be afraid. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of what you're doing, Tracy. Oh my
Thank
goodness, you're
you.
like incredible advocate. Really, I want to hug you. And
Thank
I think
you.
my team and the whole team is like loving your work, loving what you do. You inspired us so much. You really do. I encourage you to keep going and keep
I
bringing.
love sharing.
Yeah,
I
bringing us.
definitely love sharing. And so if I
Yes,
can use my platform to put more information out there so that everyone can make better decisions of what they want to do around them to help, then that is my goal. Always to
thank you.
inspire any change possible.
Absolutely. And one more time, there is Connected. And again, come back tomorrow to the artourinternational.com website. You're going to read all about Tracy, and, don't be afraid to get a hold of the artist and ask her for questions. Vimar says little contributions for Mother Earth make big impact, like you are doing, Tracy. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Tracy, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
I'm
This
very
is
excited.
gonna
Thank you
go
so
on.
much.
This goes on and on. We'll be in touch.
Never stops. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.